Welcome to the Onion Buns. So we're into the 10 to 1 list on my top 20 computer games of all time. We're going to do numbers 10 to 6 today. Sorry, itchy mustache. So we're going to do numbers 10 to 6 today. And I'm going to change it up a bit. Originally, I was planning on doing a fourth video of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Instead, I'm going to do 5 individual videos of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But I'm going to go a lot more in depth than I have been in the first 15. So they'll be a lot more in depth, a lot more to them. But for 10 to 6, we're just going to keep going with what we've been doing. So coming in at number 10 is Knights of the Old Republic. I know they throw this word around a lot, but it is a masterpiece. It really is. The story, the writing, the characters, they are all exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. And the writing, it's like, I'm not going to spoil it if you've never played this game. All I'm going to say is there is a massive surprise in the game, and that I'm going to leave it at that. Basically, the game is you crash onto a planet, you meet a Jedi, and you go about your learning about your backstory, learning about the environment around you. You know, typical RPG stuff, collecting your group of characters. But the characters are so excellent. They really are. You got Bastila, she's your love interest. To be honest, I do like Bastila, but she's my least favorite character in the game, if I'm being totally honest. Knights of the Old Republic is how a Star Wars RPG should be. Now, the graphics are a little dated now. It's an older game, and the modern day graphics nowadays blow it away. But it's still playable. It's not so dated that it's not playable. And yeah, it's just a fantastic game, fantastic storyline, great. I would love for somebody to redo this game, not change one bit of the script. And therein lays the problem. Modern developers, they can't help themselves. They would ruin it. But if somebody could just make Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 in the Unreal Engine, oh my God, you would have a bona fide hit in your hands. You really would. It would be that simple. But unfortunately, I have no faith in the modern developers doing that, like especially the modern day BioWare. No, they would have to DEI it, and they'd have to change this, and they'd have to change that, and by the end of the game, everything would be ruined. So go back, pick up this game, and you can buy it for like $3 now. It's dirt cheap, and I guarantee you, I give you my guarantee, it is an spectacularly well done game. Okay, coming in at number 9, we're going back into the C64 era again. It's actually the first game I ever owned on my C64. A buddy of mine owned it. I fell in love with it. When I bought my C64, it was the first game. Might and Magic, which we already covered, was the second game I bought. This was the first. World Games. It was, as the title you would expect, it was track and field, it was World Games. You had bull riding, you had high cliff diving, and it was like a twist on Olympic style games, but it was really, really well done, especially in that era. Like, no word of a lie, I probably spent 400 to 500 hours in this game back then. It was that good. I know I broke because back then you had the controllers, they fit in your hand, and you had the joystick, and you'd go like this to move, and I must have broken 5 or 6 joysticks playing this game. It was just an excellent game, and I don't go for those type of games anymore because nowadays they try to make them too complex, and I think that was the magic about World Games is it wasn't complex. Entertainment and enjoyment was its goal. It wasn't a sim. You weren't managing a team. You were just playing and having fun. So yeah, that's my number 9 game. Number 8. Now this game gets a lot of heat, but I loved it. My only complaint about this game was it was too short. Jade Empire. It's another BioWare RPG set in the Orient, obviously, and it's a martial arts type of RPG. And again, amazing characters, amazing story. It was back before EA bought BioWare. BioWare was pumping these games out. Knights of the Old Republic, Jade Empire, Baldur's Gate, like Neverwinter Nights. It was pumping them out, and they were all hits. Mass Effect, technically they say Mass Effect 1 is an EA game. It's not. It was built by BioWare BioWare before EA bought BioWare. Same with Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age Origins was 99% complete when EA bought BioWare. So, okay, technically it's under the EA umbrella, but it was a BioWare game. And if you look at all the Dragon Age games that came after it, you can tell this was a special BioWare game, and then you had the rest, which were EA games. So anyway, back to Jade Empire. Fantastic story. Problem with this game is it was 25 hours from start to finish. Even back then, that felt way too short, way too short. And then you go into the areas, the different zones, and you want more. Like, you really do want more. And that was its big drawback. Otherwise, this game it was spectacular. And your characters each had different, like, I forget the names of the characters offhand, and I'm not going to load up the game to find them, but every character that you could play had a different style of fighting. So if you beat the game on one character, you could load in another character, and it was considerably harder. I got to admit, I only ever beat the game with one character. I forget who it was, what the name was now, but the other characters, I could never master the martial arts styles, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't get past the opening area on any of them except for the one character. But I've replayed the game like 4 or 5 times with that one character, and I love it every time. So yeah, again, another game you can get dirt cheap, and a lot of people really do talk shit about it, but it's number 8 for a reason for me. I love that game, and again, like Knights of the Old Republic, I wish they would redo it with the Unreal Engine, but like with Knights of the Old Republic, I'd be so scared that these modern devs would start changing everything, and sometimes they really got to learn to just recreate the magic. They're not good enough to create that magic, so just recreate the magic. All right, coming in at number 7, I already mentioned it, Knights of the Old Republic 2. Now, the reason why I have Knights of the Old Republic 2 higher in my rankings than Knights of the Old Republic is because Knights of the Old Republic 2 I find is a more mature game. And if you haven't figured it out yet, I like the mature setting in my RPGs. Kreia very well might be one of the greatest companions ever written for an RPG. And I don't say that lightly. She made that game so special, teaching the lessons to your Jedi. You would make a choice, she'd tell you why that choice didn't work, and you'd make a different choice, and she'd tell you why that choice didn't work. It's like, it was spectacular. And she also had some of the greatest one-liners. I've told you I don't want to go into spoilers, but one spoiler I do need to talk about with Knights of the Old Republic 2 is you have to play the male exile. I don't give a shit what the DEI woke crowd want you to think. And it's not that I hate I actually play most RPGs as a female character nowadays, truth be told. So it's not some bias against female characters. The male character in Knights of the Old Republic 2 gets the handmaiden companion. The female character in Knights of the Old Republic 2 gets the disciple companion. The disciple companion is a complete fucking waste of time. Worst character, well, I can't say worst character BioWare ever made because I've seen the latest Dragon Age games. But for the Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, disciple is the worst character, worst companion by far. So go with the male exile, you get the handmaid. Now, when you're on the Ebon Hawk and you start romancing the handmaiden, and she's got an awesome romance arc. She really does. It goes right into her whole philosophy and teaching and everything. It is really well done. But then you have Visas, and you can romance her. And when you start romancing both of them, they start fighting with each other. Like, they actually get into squabbles, and then Kreia starts making one-off comments about asking you what loading ramp you're running up to this day and stuff like that. So it's really well done. But overall, Knights of the Old Republic 2, it's just a more mature game. It doesn't have the big surprise that Knights of the Old Republic 1 has, but it has a better storyline overall. Problem with Knights of the Old Republic 2 is it was made by Obsidian, not by BioWare, and LucasArts rushed them, and they rushed them really bad. So when you play it, you can notice that there's content missing. Now, there is a revision patch that's free that they went mining into the data mining, and they built the missing content. But that I played the game 6 or 7 times before that patch came out, so I've loaded it, but I've never really gotten into it. I don't know how well they did, but that was the big problem with Knights of the Old Republic 2 is LucasArts. If they'd just given them an extra 4-5 months, that game very well might be in my top 3 of all time. But unfortunately, it suffered being rushed, and because it was rushed, it fell down the chart a little bit. Okay, and the final entry for today, Civilization 5. I've told you about Civilization 2. I've told you about Civilization 4. Civilization 5, it doesn't have the sci-fi fantasy of Civilization 2. It doesn't have the influence, like taking over your neighbor's lands through influence and intrigue, though I wish it did. I really do. I really do think that out of Civilization 4 should have been a standard in all future Civilization games. Sadly, it wasn't. But Civilization 5 is the most complete Civ game ever made, bar none, in my opinion. If you've played any of the other Civs, you know what you're walking into, but it's more complete and smarter. And yeah, I really don't have a lot to say about it other than it's a fantastic game. I have something, let me look it up, because this is kind of ridiculous. I have 1,822.5 hours played, and that may not even be correct because I had this game on disc, CD-ROM, or yeah, on disc before I got it digitally. So this is 1,822.5 hours is my Steam amount played. I can't tell you how many more hours I had on disc. So clearly, this was a winner for me, a huge winner. I love this game. I still have it on my computer. I'm probably not going to play it a lot anymore because I've gotten, oh, there it is. I got 158 out of 286 achievements. But again, I don't play on hard mode or anything. So I got up to, the 5th or 6th difficulty, and I said, yeah, that's good enough. I'm good with that. So yeah, so no, it's just a fantastic, fantastic game. And if you've never played it, I strongly advise you play it. Get it, play it. It's cheap because there's Civ 6 and Civ 7 out now. So you can get Civ 5 and all its DLCs for quite cheap nowadays. So anyway, that's number 10 to 6. At number 10 is Knights of the Old Republic. And number 9 is World Games for the C64. With World Games, I've never seen it on GOG or Steam. So I think it's another one. It's like Knights of Legend, where if you want to try it, you're going to have to look at the emulators. Number 8 is Jade Empire. Number 7 is Knights of the Old Republic 2, and number 6 is Civilization 5. And again, I can't say enough good things about all of them. And the next video, we will start at the number 4 game or number 5 game, and it will be a video dedicated strictly to that game. So just a quick add in here before we get to the finish of the video. I wanted to say, what do you guys think are going to be my final 5 games? Leave in the comments section. What do you think will be number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or maybe don't even worry about the numbers. Just try to guess 5 games that you think are in my top 5. I think that'd be an interesting little trial and error. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel, so a like, a subscribe, and a share do wonders for me, and I do greatly appreciate the people that help me out with that. If you didn't like the video, leave a dislike. Always feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Don't worry, I don't swing my cane too strongly anymore if I dislike your comment. And as always, pew 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Bye.